my question to you would be if results season has been so good, not that bad, and generally variables are known, FIs क्यों माल बेच रहे हैं?
I think FIs in see the FI outflow actually started towards the end of 21. What happened was India was an outlier. India was rocking, doing very, very well. I'm talking about the equity market performance now. And China suffered massively, where the stocks like Alibaba and all went down 50-60%. Overall, Chinese markets were down 20-30%. And normally it happens, you sell your winner and double up on your loser. I think that is what happened with the foreign investors also. They booked some profit from India and put money in China. It did not work, but we got outflows. I think the outflows were tapering off by January end, and then Russia and Ukraine happened, and oil went through the roof. Before the war, oil was at $75-80, and then suddenly at $30-40 jump. And logically, whenever oil moves up, there are investors who get a little bit cautious on India. And on top of it, you had a scenario where dollar was strengthening, yields in US went above 3%, and there was a total risk off. So what happens is when dollar is so strong and when dollar yields are like 3%, I think money moves away from so-called risk assets, which will include emerging markets, into US. And I think that is what happened. There was general sell-off in emerging markets. There was slightly more sell-off in India because obviously even till February, March, foreign investors from a 1-2 years perspective were making much higher returns in India than anywhere else. And I think we saw the selling the way it is. And I think it is very, very surprising. No one expected FIs to sell 2 lakh crores worth in like 6 months, more than 2 lakh crores, in fact, in 6 months. It has never happened before. Most of the selling was in 2 sectors, banks and IT, because, foreigners have almost 55-60% of all their investments in India into these 2 sectors. And they are very liquid also. If you want to sell 100, 200, $500 million, you can easily sell off. Last 4-5 days, we have seen, starting with banks, banks have started to consolidate. The fall has stopped. In fact, Bank Nifty was the first to show an uptick, and then the Nifty happened. And even in IT, last 2-3 days, we are seeing that. Our view is that actually, if you see the global scenario, first of all, with dollar weakening, money has started coming back into global equities. There was a $21 billion inflow in global equities last week. And second is, even from a global investor's perspective, the options available are reducing. China obviously is a pariah. It's just like it's a beware kind of a country. Russia is now a sanctioned country, so no new flows will go there. There are not too many large emerging economies left for foreign investors to invest. So I would say that imagine their view on India becoming positive, then what will happen? So you have domestic investors who continue to be positive, and then if global investors also become positive, the uptick can be really, really sharp. I'd like to bring one point again, which I highlighted earlier. Crude is something which we need to track. Sir, agar, God willing, agar crude 70-80 ho gaya na, then you are looking at a really, really very, very different scenario.
Investments in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.